Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Number one question by you guys. Pure Aero VS. Is it the same as the new Pure Aero 98? We'll try to answer that today. Stay tuned. All right, so coffee sponsor of today is Rick Gonzalez. Rick writes, "Your videos are great and entertaining. Keep it up." Oh, thank you, Rick. I appreciate you. We had Arabica Arabian mocha today. Not a mocha drink, but that's just kind of what they called it. I remember this one, and I actually do like it. A little more bolder, a little more darker. Kind of hint of chocolate and smoky. My favorite combinations. So thank you, Rick. If you want to be my coffee sponsor of the day, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. You want to support the channel? Super thanks is the way. Link is below. Appreciate everybody out there. Thank you for watching too. All right, piping hot dark roast today. All right, so there is a argument out there from the people who want, use, and some already have a Pure Aero VS, the old model, that I really have to have this one. This is the one I use. There is a difference versus the new one, which is now called Pure Aero 98. Now, when I first hit with this one, I was like, eh. And then I hit with this one. I feel like it's been 3 years, if not more, since this racket came out. I didn't really feel a whole lot of difference. Coach Gu didn't really feel a whole lot of difference. But a lot of people seem to say there is a big difference. I even went on the Babolat website and literally went side by side on both of these, and the specs are identical. So one quick thing that I like to look at when these arguments arise is that I like to line the rackets up like so. And you can tell by the grommet set actually if they're the same racket, because usually the grommet sets will tell you if they changed anything. Those two, there's a thing here that's holding, but yeah, these line up. These probably fit the same. They did alter this a bit. This is a little more shiny, a little bit more dull. But it looks like the holes will line up for both. See, look, that lines up perfectly. Right? So usually if the grommets from one generation to the next line up, the frame is usually the same. Right? They weren't doing very well with this VS until Alcaraz, some of the other people started doing well with it. And then the racket shot off and took off. And like, what the heck happened? It was a kind of a, not a good racket or not a good selling racket for like 3 years. And then right when Alcaraz became number one, racket became almost number one. And high in demand, low in supply, because nobody anticipated it, including Babolat. They came out with the new 98, and basically supposed to be the same racket. Look at the paint job. It's almost identical. All right, so let's just dispel this myth to see if they are the same. I got my man Dan on his way in, and we're going to run it through its courses on the Bayardo Tune Pro. All right, are we ready to dispel the myth? Because so many people have said, oh, they're not the same. Other people are like, they're identical. When I tried it, I mean, I didn't tell a difference. When Dan tried it, it's like, there's definitely a significant difference.
What are we talking about?
These two rackets.
Yeah, what are they?
One's a 98 Aero, and this is the original Aero VS.
98.
In the 98, yep. So you were saying that there's a difference here.
So I played with both these rackets. I've been playing with this racket since it came out. I was watching Alcaraz play. I'm thinking, well, it must be an interesting racket to try. And this ended up in my top 5, probably top 3 rackets. It's very special. It's very nimble. It's surgical. It just does some special things. I can really maneuver this racket around when I'm in trouble reaching out. When they came out with this racket, they said the 98 Aero. They said formally the VS. So they're kind of marketing this as the new VS, but they're not calling it a VS. So when I played with this racket, I found it to be a little more traditional. I think it's got a little more swing weight. It's a little heavier overall. It has more of a sort of professional spec, more plow through, more power. I just find this to be a little more surgical and nimble in terms of how it feels. I've had 2 different people that I play with when I let them try my rackets. One guy, he's like a 5.0, just crushes the ball. He was using pro staffs, and I had 10 of my rackets on the bench. He pulled this VS out, and he switched to this. He bought 2 of them. My other friend that I play with, he tried this one. He's got 4 of them now. And so people that get into this one really enjoy it.
Okay. No, I've had college kids come up to me and literally, do you have any more VSs? I get Instagram questions. Do you have any more VSs? Emails. Do you have any more VSs? So
they're sold out everywhere.
I thought it was a psychological thing. I mean, when I played with this, I was like, I mean, it's close enough,
they're
if
both
not
good.
the same.
Yeah, they're good.
But let's dispel this myth. We got Dan here, and I said, Dan, prove to me that they're different. Okay, we can't prove it playing wise because that's kind of
subjective.
Might be in your head. Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's prove it on the Babolat Tune Pro stiffness wise. I think weight balance and swing weight is supposed to be the same, right?
Let's find out.
Let's go to the Babolat Tune Pro. Mad scientist Dan at home here. I'm just the Mr. Watson over here in the background.
I just messed up.
I'll just take a coffee break. House blend again.
Okay, we're looking at 322.7 and a 32.2 balance.
322.7. 322.7.
322. 32.2 balance. And now swing weight, it's going to be, this is with the placard on, which is about 3 grams shy of a full bed of strings. So the fully strung, so this swing weight is 319, and fully strung it'll be about 323, give or take. And that's, I play with one of these, so I can tell you that's the case.
Okay.
And let's do a quick stiffness test, because
actually throw the other one on there.
You want to do the other one?
Yeah.
Weight balance, no problem.
Yeah, since we have
save some time.
Mm-hmm.
Save some time on the attachments.
We looked at the placard, and they're identical. So we're doing apples to apples, guys.
All right. So now we're going to do swing weight balance.
Since people can't get the rackets, maybe we can sell the placards.
Yeah, well, you could take the placard and put it on your
maybe they're worth something.
Other racket. So this is a 320.9 and a 32.7. So very, very similar.
320.9 and
32.7.
327. Okay.
327. Very close.
So that's just quality control right there.
Yeah, that's just, you wouldn't feel that difference. Okay, here we go on swing weight. I think this one has more swing weight. 327.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's going to be in the 330 zone.
Okay.
Kind of the full pro spec swing weight. And that was what I felt the difference when I played with these. So let's do our stiffness test. Let's do horizontal.
HS.
Okay, that's perfect. Perfect. Stay there. Don't move. Thank you. Crank her down. Start.
Whoa. I always get worried. I might go pack one day.
I've done about 100 of these now. Nothing's broken or cracked that I know of, or that I'll admit to. 70.
70.
70. Remember the 70s?
Oh,
I don't.
barely.
Barely. All right. Okay, now we're going to do it again on this one. Thank you.
He's fine.
Thank you. Where's the middle? I don't mark the middle on this one. That's funny. Okay. Pure Aero 98. Start.
Let's see if it's 70.
I think it's going to be 70.
70. Okay.
My little bird friend is sliding around. My pet parakeet. I should get a bird on my shoulder,
Just keep
and I could be Pirate Dan.
How you doing? Good, good. $67.
67. Did I do this one?
So that was the 98.
That's the 98.
Okay.
Did I do this one?
You didn't.
I didn't. See, I'm already confused. Here we go. I think it'll be similar. $64.
64.
Interesting. Yeah, a little softer on the vertical. Huh. I still can't quite tell when I play with the racket what vertical is supposed to feel like one way or the other. I can definitely feel horizontal flex. So, what do you think?
Okay, so we got numbers now. We'll do it like this. The horizontal stiffness is identical. So that's the stiffness coming this way. The vertical stiffness is a little different, though. It's the one going this way. Now, you're telling me that these you don't feel.
No. I think you do feel horizontal stiffness when you're hitting this way. You can really tell the difference between probably 5 points of horizontal stiffness. Vertical stiffness, I'm not sure that I'd be able to feel 3 points difference in vertical stiffness. It's got a little more flex. You know, when you're coming up on the spin, in theory, would I actually feel that? I didn't notice it. I wasn't looking for it. What I noticed on these two rackets is the swing weight. The balance is a little different too, and that's something you can feel when you play with the racket. The weight is close enough you wouldn't feel that difference. The balance is close, and the swing weight is noticeably different in these two rackets. Now you can have that much variance in two identical rackets off the shelf. But I've got two different, a VS and a 98, two different rackets, and I actually feel this is the thing I feel in the court. I feel this more maneuverable. It's more surgical. You can kind of get flick shots and do some things with this racket. This is more power, more plow through. This feels more like a pro level spec racket, just in terms of drive. So I think they're They're similar. I don't know if they were intending to make the new one identical to the old one. There's clearly some slight differences. I think some people might have thought this was too light in the swing weight. So I think they tried to improve the old VS is what I think they tried to do. And, you know, the new one's a very solid racket. They just don't call it a VS, and I'm not sure why.
Well, I think they eliminated the VS name because in the Pure Drive they did that too, and I'm sure in the Strike VS they're going to call it something else too. So I think they just eliminated the VS name.
It's probably confusing to a lot of people, like what is the VS?
Right.
I always think of it as the very special version. You know, they make the VS string for years. That's their top echelon designation for things, but I think it probably confused the market.
Right. Well, I mean, VS is very nostalgic, very iconic, but you have to be of age to understand what VS is.
Right. It's just a couple letters.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
And so, if these numbers reign true with you know, like all of the test subjects, let's say, then we got heavier, right? More swing weight in the new one. We got a little stiffer in the vertical stiffness. So what Dan is saying is the older version, the VS version, more maneuverable, little softer when you bring it up. So is there a difference? If these rackets are consistent across the board, then yes, there is. Okay? Yes, there is. Stiffer in the new one, softer in the old. That's what we've proven today.
And the easiest way to make the decision here, of course, is you can't get these anywhere. You can search high and low. So don't worry about this one anymore. Work with this.
Move on.
You know, you can always play with weight and balance. You know, if you put a little more weight down in the handle, you'll increase. Take this 320 to like a 325. That'll actually lower the swing weight a little bit because you're putting more weight on the bottom. So you can fine tune this new one. And it's a beautiful racket cosmetically, in my opinion.
Right.
Not that you should buy a racket based on what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if Alcaraz and whoever isn't playing with these rackets, there's like literally nobody was playing with them before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very popular.
All right, so there is a difference, guys. Thank you, my man Dan, for coming in and showing us the way of the Aero98 compared to the VS. All right? Thank you, Dan.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Coach Rob, I feel like I'm lost on the court. I'm just hitting mindless tennis.
Understandable. I've seen it you hit. You need a plan, Harry. Every shot has to have a purpose.
We got a singles playbook there today. Are we going to run into these plays with your singles players?
Absolutely. We got the diagrams. We got it all right here.
All right. Step by step.
Step by step, how to beat a southpaw, how to beat a pusher. It's all in here.
We're going to definitely see a pusher today. And then for the doubles players, we're going to see and get the highest potential, run some plays that will basically be hopefully unstoppable on the court today. Step-by-step instructions from fuzzy yellow balls, QR code. You can watch the action on a video. So the playbook is here. Get yours today at Fuzzy Yellow Balls. Click on the link below. Check it out.